There was a social media superstar with a username JaxPro. He has 115 million followers on his social media. One day, he had a great idea to make a great new video for his channel. There will be 8 games and 8 participants. Why 8 numbers? Because an octopus has 8 legs, that's why he called it the Octo Games. Game 1. Simon says. There are more than 10 participants ready to play. JaxPro explained the 8 games and 8 participants rule. One of the participants asks what's the price for the winner. And JaxPro announced that he's retiring from social media after this game was uploaded to his channel. Participants were in shock. The price was JaxPro's all social media accounts, which have 115 million followers, and all the brand deals with him. Participants were excited to hear that, because they also had small social media accounts. JaxPro simply explained the Simon Says rules. They are ready to begin. The game host was a man in a fox costume. Participants enjoyed that. The game begins now. The first one was, Simon Says clap once. One of the hosts prepares his sniper on the balcony.
Simon says, touch your nose.
They were excited and playing well. The next one was to put your hand on your head without Simon saying. One guy did wrong. He eliminates, and the fox man pulls out his sledgehammer and beats him. They were shocked. The foxman killed him. One of the participants tried to run away, but the sniper from the balcony shoots her. Then another participant girl was against the rude rules, and she got to shoot. 12 players remaining. They had to choose 8 players. The next one was Simon Says stand on one foot. One guy couldn't stand and get shoot. Simon Says hold your breath. Players were holding their breath on one foot. One of the players couldn't hold it and puke. And of course got to shoot. The guy next to her was scared and couldn't hold his breath and got shoot. The girl player tries to run, but Foxman beats her down with his sledgehammer. The first Simon Says the game is over. There are 8 remaining players. Carrie Miller, singer-songwriter. AJ, video game streamer. Maxine Harlow, comedian. Ruth Martin, cooking show host. Squish, motivational speaker. Walter Brentwood, entrepreneur. Jess Hardbody, fitness guru. Ms. Sunshine, kids TV host. One of the hosts gives JaxPro the first game's footage. JaxPro and his girlfriend were planning to run away from this country to an island right after the game. All 8 players were in the same room, only with sleeping pads. They get anxious, nervous, and sad. They know only one of them will still be alive. There was a big chance of dying for everyone. The old guy Walter tries to make a group for his safety. And the girls didn't like it at all. Game 2. Hopscotch. Players are on the spot. JaxPro explains the game rules. They have to stop when the blue lights change the red color while they are jumping. If someone jumps or moves on the red light, will be eliminated. Players choose their numbers. The first player jumps, and he stops when it's red light. The foxman was ready with his sledgehammer. And he continues to jump when it changes blue, and he is safe. The second player begins to jump. It's red light, and she stops. Squish was whistling in the back, and Walter asks why he is whistling. Squish didn't say the secret. Blue light, she jumps, and again it's the red light. She was standing on one foot, it was hard, and she tries to stand. Finally blue light, and she made it. The old guy Walter thought there is a trick at the end and changes his number 8 with Carrie. The next player jumps, and red light. She was trying to stand on one foot. And Squish tries to whistle the same sound as when the lights change. She falls into a trap and jumps when it was the red light. Squish was happy about that. The foxman comes and beats her with his sledgehammer. Everyone was scared and shocked. She is eliminated and game 2 is done. They back to the room. The old guy Walter tries to make a deal and be in a group with girls after Squish is done with Miss Sunshine. Ruth Martin also tries to make a group with AJ. She needs a young man in the game to help her to win. AJ declines and says no. Then she goes to Squish and asks him to accompany her. He warns her to stay far away from him. She doesn't listen to him. And Squish beats her down. players thinking how they can go out of this place. JaxPro let his girlfriend message every player's parents to let them know and relax before they report the police while they are participating in his game. They can't wait to run away from the country after the game. But there is another plan in his girlfriend's mind. Game 3. Obstacle Course. They are outside blindfolded. JaxPro explains the rules. Make it under the end in 60 seconds, the player go home. Jess Hardbody, the fitness guru, wants to try. They didn't understand what was a catch, because it is too easy. Time goes and she begins. Running, climbing, and there is the Foxman. This was a catch. She runs and the Foxman tries to catch her. At the final steps, the Foxman catches her, she kicked him and runs out. She made it. Everyone was cheering for her, and the host shoots her. Jess was gone over the time limit. And then Carrie wants to try. Her friends try to stop her, telling her this is suicide. Carrie thinks and decided to take the game and win somehow. JaxPro's girlfriend gets a message and goes out to meet one of the hosts. The host girl handles her as poison. JaxPro's girlfriend promised to pay when JaxPro cash out his money. Late at night, AJ wakes up Carrie to run away. He thought the Foxman was standing and sleeping. And he was wrong. Game 4. Musical Chairs. 6 players are ready to play the game. Again, JaxPro explains the game rules. The first player out is eliminated. And the winner gets $1 million in the bank account for the family. The game started, the music stopped. Ruth Martin and AJ sat on one chair. She pushes him out. The Foxman takes him out. The old guy makes deal with Squish for 50 grand if he eliminates himself. The old guy eliminates himself. In the next round, Ruth Martin takes Maxine's chair and eliminates her. Then Squish eliminates Carrie. The Foxman takes her to the room where the other stays. She saw AJ was happy that he didn't die. They didn't understand. JaxPro changed the game rules a little and announces not the first eliminated player dies. The last eliminated player will die and the winner gets $1 million. Ruth Martin and Squish remain. Ruth Martin sits when the music stops. Squish takes her down and beats her so bad. And Squish stays the winner of this game. JaxPro hired Ruth Martin instead of killing her, and he offers $2 million for hosting the rest of the game. She accepts it. Back in the room, players are thinking about how to get out of there. Game 5. Hide and Seek. Players are in the house blindfolded. JaxPro explains the game rules. They can hide wherever they want in this house in 60 seconds. The first player Foxman founds will get eliminated. The time starts to count. Players are hiding, and Maxine couldn't find a place to hide. The old guy calls her to the closet with him. AJ warns her not to go. She had no other choice and goes to him. The Foxman begins to find them. He was so close to Squish. At that time, Carrie tries to run from the window. Squish runs to another room and gets in the closet where the old guy and Maxine are in. The host catches Carrie and tries to stop her. If she runs, he has to shoot her. The Foxman hears AJ's breath. Squish let the old guy push Maxine out. The old guy apologizes to Maxine and pushes her out. The Foxman tries to kill Maxine, and Carrie was pleasing the host to let her run away. When Maxine shouts her name, Carrie ran to Maxine to help her. The Foxman killed Maxine. Carrie and AJ were so mad about it. Squish finds out that Ruth Martin becomes the host. After the game, Ruth Martin comes to JaxPro's house to give him the footage. And he gives her a quick room tour. JaxPro tests her if would she kill his ex-game host for trying to poison him. And Ruth Martin kills her immediately. Back in the room, players were complaining about Squish for let Maxine be killed. Game 6. Tetherball. Players are in a forest. JaxPro explains the game rules. Who hits the ball all around wins. There will be 3 rounds. AJ versus Walter and Squish versus Carrie. Losers will make a final round and whoever loses eliminates. The ball was a flail ball earring. The game begins. AJ and the old guy were hitting the flail ball earring, blood on their hands. AJ hits the flail ball all around and wins. The next round is Squish and Carrie. AJ says do not hit the flailing ball to Carrie. Squish begins and hits the flailing ball with all his power, but Carrie didn't try at all. Squish wins and wonders why she didn't hit. She says she can either lose Squish hurt her hand or she could let him win with clean hands. It was Carrie's smart move. In the final round, the old guy Walter and Carrie. She begins the game and hits the flailing ball with all of her power. Walter loses the game. The Foxman kills Walter. AJ and Carrie have no more hope to escape this place. JaxPro's girlfriend tries to poison him. She made him drink. Before he drinks, JaxPro let his girlfriend try it first. Because he knew all her secret plans in her mind. She pushes him and runs downstairs. And she met Ruth Martin. Ruth Martin shoots her, and JaxPro was happy with that. Now, JaxPro was single and alone to escape the country and go to the island. Ruth Martin asks him to take her with him too as a girlfriend. He thought she is old. Ruth Martin said there will be no one to discuss us on the island, and JaxPro agreed with her. Game 7. Hangman. Players are tied to the chair, blindfolded and have electric wires on their heads. JaxPro explains the game rules. Rules are simpler, there will be a mystery phrase. They have to guess the letter or the mystery phrase. If they say the wrong letter or times out, then the Foxman will give them a bigger and bigger electric shock. If guess the phrase, then he will get out of the game. The first person stops breathing and loses. The game begins with Squish. He was thinking and it was time out and he got an electric shock. Carrie guesses the letter, and AJ also guesses the letter. Again, Squish guessed the wrong letter and gets a bigger electric shock. In the next round, all players guess the right letters. Squish guessed the wrong letter and again gets the bigger electric shock. Carrie also gets the wrong letter, because it's her first wrong letter, and that's why she gets a small electric shock. AJ did well. Squish did wrong again and gets a bigger electric shock. Carrie got the wrong letter and get an electric shock. AJ guessed the right letter. It is Squish's turn. He was struggling. Time getting out, then he guesses a whole mystery phrase. The host unties him, and he is out of the game now. There are Carrie and AJ against each other. AJ is gonna show his kindness. The game begins. Carrie guesses the letter, but AJ doesn't say any letter and gets an electric shock. Carrie asks to play and say the letter, but AJ doesn't. In the fourth round, he gets the biggest electric shock from his head. AJ stops breathing. He is eliminated as dead and Carrie won. Back in the room, Squish gives her hand as may the best man win. Carrie was full of anger and says Squish cheated from the beginning of this game. Squish mentions that he will win the last game and warns her to be ready to die. Game 8. Capture the flag. The final game starts now, with Carrie and Squish in the forest. JaxPro says as it's the last game he will upload the video and escape the country before the police find him. He explains the game rules. Who is the first holds the flag for 3 seconds will win, and the other player will be eliminated. And he mentions playing smart. Players are ready to start the game. It begins. They do run as fast as possible to the flag. They hold the flag at the same time. Squish started to push Carrie. The host is ready to shoot the loser. Squish asks Carrie to quit and pushes her down. Carrie falls down. Squish holds the flag up. Host waves her hand as the NO mark. Carrie sees the other flag and understood. She is running to that flag. Carrie gets the flag and holds it. Squish got to shoot as the wrong flag holder. Ruth Martin was happy about his death. Squish dies, and the other host runs to Carrie and injected her from her shoulder. She falls asleep. When she woke up, she was in a brand new house. And she saw a JaxPro mask and a piece of paper on the table. Carrie opens the paper and sees there was a JaxPro username and the password of his 115 million user social media channel. There the host comes down from the upstairs. He tells her that she won the game, they uploaded the video and the police will start an investigation soon. The host gave her the phone. Carrie asked who is he, and and the host shows his face and walks away. She calls 911. 3 months later, Carrie gets enough auditions for her music carrier with her 115 million user account. His friend asks her to watch the video that he sent. She played the video. That was a guy with a new channel after Ruth Martin pops out on the screen, and she knew he is JaxPro.